She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Joy Behar calls her a 10. I mean, how dare she objectify a woman with a sexist rating system, but it's such a typical thing from a 1.5.
Well said.
It's so cute when one of their side gets punished. They sulk like they ran out of raw cookie dough in the green.
You won't believe what's unfolding right now. Greg Gutfeld has gone straight after the hosts of The View with a bold and fiery response. And honestly, it's way more intense than anyone expected. Right at the center of all this drama is Karoline Leavitt, who's reportedly filed a jaw-dropping $800 million lawsuit that's sending shockwaves across the media world. Yes, you heard that right, $800 million. That number alone has everyone asking the same question. What was actually said on The View that pushed things this far? Stick around, because this situation is escalating fast, and it's only getting more dramatic.
Watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years. They likened President Trump to Hitler. They have mocked him. They have shamed him. They have lied about him consistently on their show. And it was a joy to watch them on November the 6th when they realized that tens of millions of Americans do not listen to the lies that they have spewed. These women are completely out of touch with reality. And you're right, ABC should wake up. They just paid $15 million to President Trump's future library. That's a great thing for the American people.
Ever heard of lawsuits so massive they sound like phone numbers? Well, here's one. Karoline Leavitt has reportedly filed an $800 million case against the hosts of The View. And no, that's not a typo, $800 million. For a daytime talk show, that number feels almost unreal. To put it in perspective, that kind of money could fund a small country's education system or pay for an entire fleet of electric cars. Instead, it's now sitting right at the center of a growing media storm, with everyone asking the same thing. What was actually said to spark something this huge?
It's about The View. It's become like a medical hospital that displays human misfailure. Like it's like here, let's look at this political oddity. You know, it's like it really is like the left-wing equivalent of a carnival sideshow, except instead of bearded ladies and fat clowns and two-headed cows. Well, let me rephrase that. But The View is a victim of the sunk cost fallacy. You know, how can you now speak the truth when for years you've been telling lie after lie after lie? Now you're carrying this big bag of rocks around you because it's too harmful for their ego to admit that we really were dishonest. And they could be honest. All they would have to say is, look, we hate Trump so much. We were willing to lie about Joe Biden because we felt he was preferable. We thought our lying and our cover-up was on your behalf. Just say that. You're still scum, but at least you're an honest scum.
So who exactly is Karoline Leavitt? Think of someone who treats play nice as more of a suggestion than a rule. She's not your typical politician, smiling for the cameras, sticking to safe talking points, and brushing off media noise. Instead, she leans right into controversy, treating it like an opportunity instead of a problem. She's the kind of figure who puts traditional political playbooks aside and speaks out loudly, sometimes even turning to legal action when she wants to make sure her voice is heard.
And you would think, ABC, having just paid $15 million for a defamation lawsuit, would think not to engage in conspiracy theories about assassination attempts, but I guess that's too much to ask from The View. I mean, I gotta ask you, because they said it, are you aware of any plots from Elon Musk to push President Trump down the stairs?
Absolutely not. Let me be unequivocally clear about that.
Her political journey hasn't exactly been smooth. While most politicians stick to carefully crafted sound bites and tightly controlled messaging, Karoline Leavitt takes a much more direct, no-nonsense approach. So when The View, a show known for strong opinions, quick judgments, and sometimes controversial remarks, turned its attention toward her with sharp criticism, she didn't just ignore it and move on. No, for her, that moment became the breaking point.
Said that Gutfeld talks about you all the time.
Who is he? Well, really, who is he?
I don't watch the show.
He has a show.
I don't watch the
never
show.
heard of him.
Yeah.
I guess he's just obsessed with me.
No. Next, Joy's going to say she's never heard of carbs. Seriously, her denial of knowing me is as believable as her red hair. But obsession? I mean, come on, Joy. Where would you even get that idea? Like Joy Behar's face, it's looking worse and worse by the day. More full of crap than Joy Behar after a night of scotch at Taco Bell. Her being named Joy is like me being named ugly. Joy wasn't there on the show. Apparently Mondays are her days off when she feeds in the...
They keep saying Gutfeld talks about you. Who? You know him. I don't watch that show. I've never even heard of him. Yeah, sure. Joy Behar acting like she doesn't know Greg Gutfeld is about as believable as anything else. She shrugs it off, then turns around and calls him obsessed, which feels like a bit of a stretch. And just like that, the back and forth keeps getting louder, with jokes flying in every direction. Gutfeld leans straight into the sarcasm, flipping her comments into punchlines and keeping his audience locked in. Even when Behar isn't on screen, the conversation doesn't slow down. It just adds more fuel to this ongoing media clash that keeps pulling attention from both sides.
Motives stink worse than Joy Behar's jog bra. I mean, assuming she jogs. Oh, wait, there she is. She has a point. Maybe I am obsessed, but some people are obsessed with Bigfoot, and they don't get to see him on TV every afternoon. And if they did, could they tell the two apart? I don't know. But yeah, it's true. I am obsessed with her the way a mongoose is obsessed with snake.
Karoline Leavitt didn't go with a quiet statement or wait for the noise to fade. Instead, she took a direct path, pulling The View into a legal battle that could shake daytime television. Think of it like a high-energy showdown. Lots of noise, big reactions, and then one sudden move that catches everyone off guard. She didn't treat the show's comments as background chatter. Instead, she fired back with a massive lawsuit that sends a clear message. Step in and be ready for a serious fight. This isn't just personal anymore, it's a bigger clash between a rising political voice that refuses to stay quiet and a major media platform known for strong opinions. That reported $800 million case isn't just about money. It's a bold stand calling for accountability, respect, and maybe even a reminder that words can come with real consequences.
Their brains are small. But who's the dumbest one of all? True, none of them are in Mensa, but who's the most densa? Perhaps it's Sonny who mastered the art of making idiots look smart. Now, The View could ask a mirror who's the dumbest one of all, but there's no way that glass doesn't shatter. The true sign of the apocalypse is someone that dumb has a law degree. Worse, if your name has the word sun in it, there's no excuse for not knowing how an eclipse works. But it's no surprise that Joy is the one who understands science. She's been on the science diet for years.
A move like this sends shockwaves through a world already packed with political tension and media chaos. So when you hear that Karoline Leavitt has taken The View to court, it's not just another legal headline. It feels like a turning point where daytime TV, politics, and high-stakes drama all collide. It's the kind of moment no one saw coming, yet suddenly, everyone's talking about it. Now enter Greg Gutfeld, a master of sharp sarcasm and fearless commentary. He doesn't just report the news, he turns it into a full-on show. When drama builds around a platform like The View, he goes all in, delivering biting humor mixed with sharp, pointed takes. His style blends bold honesty, quick wit, and a knack for calling out the contradictions hiding behind big media moments.
Whoopi will be back here in 2 weeks, okay?
It's so cute when one of their side gets punished. They sulk like they ran out of raw cookie dough in the green room. Yeah, ABC suspended Whoopi for 2 weeks because she said the Holocaust had nothing to do with race. She said this on a show called The View, which makes everything about race.
Watching Greg Gutfeld take on The View feels like watching a seasoned fighter break down a wall of confidence with perfectly timed punchlines. For him, comedy isn't just about getting laughs, it's a way to highlight the absurd. With the show's long history of heated debates, awkward moments, and nonstop hot takes, his jabs tend to hit hard. The View thrives on loud clashes, and Gutfeld meets that same energy head-on, often flipping their own style back at them. At times, the show can feel like that one person in a group who thinks everything revolves around them. But Gutfeld keeps that spotlight in check, staying sharp and completely unfiltered.
Republican presidential candidate Tim Scott dropped by the Furry Five earlier today, and I thought the U.S. had a distinct policy against torture. He took the opportunity to call them out over crap Joy Behar recently said about him, specifically that he doesn't get systemic racism, which is like saying Brian Stelter doesn't get Ben and Jerry's. But Joy Behar gets racism after all. She's been black on Halloween. Yeah. But Joy wasn't there on the show. Apparently Mondays are her days off when she feeds in the pasture. But that is convenient, right? It's like one of my aunts dies every time Brian Kilmeade wants to hang out.
They've built a platform where talk show drama meets emotional debates, and millions tune in every day to watch opinions clash. The View often pushes controversy to the edge, sometimes almost daring serious backlash to follow. Well, that challenge has now arrived. A show that prides itself on free expression is being reminded there's a fine line between sharing opinions and making damaging claims. Karoline Leavitt,
Sausage maker Johnsonville is recalling more than 42,000 pounds of pork sausage for possible contamination with plastic fibers. Fortunately, authorities were able to track all 42,000 pounds to a single location in New York City.
Greg Gutfeld grabbed the chaos and turned it into pure comedic gold. His sharp sarcasm cut right through The View's aura of untouchable self-importance, showing cracks in their polished image. The show may thrive on drama, but controversy can cut both ways. Karoline Leavitt's legal move is a loud wake-up call, one that will surely make every daytime host take notice. This isn't just a small spat. It's a serious push for accountability in a world where careless commentary now comes with real consequences.
Ah, you look tantalizing. You know, I make fun of The View a lot, but that's only because they keep talking. Because COVID also taught Sunny Hostin how to get her groceries delivered.
3 years, that's when I discovered Instacart, and I give them a big tip because they don't always pay their people well, and it's so that's been an issue, I think, for the company. But man, you can get toiletries, you can get fire logs.
Fire logs? She had to tell the audience that she tips big because even she knows she sounds insane.
This lawsuit feels like a reset button for media accountability, and Greg Gutfeld is ready to turn up the heat until the dust settles. Picture the media frenzy that followed: headline screaming lawsuit drama, political battles turning into pure midday television gold. But Gutfeld didn't stop at the headlines. While others tiptoe around legal issues, he unleashed his full sarcasm and sharp wit, making viewers laugh and shake their heads at The View. The presenters, usually dishing critiques, suddenly got a taste of their own medicine. They call themselves queens of daytime drama, but even a hive feels the sting when it comes delivered through legal papers worth more than the education budget of some countries. The bigger question, will The View soften, become a cautionary tale, or double down? Betting on controversy drives ratings. But one thing is clear: the polished smiles are gone, exposing the raw reality behind the talk show facade. Greg Gutfeld's blistering roast of The View is pure entertainment gold, cutting through their over-the-top theodestics and exposing legal blind spots with razor-sharp humor. Karoline Leavitt's reported $800 million lawsuit is sending shockwaves through daytime television, and Gutfeld's mockery perfectly complements the chaos, reminding everyone that when media figures play with fire, they risk getting burned. This isn't just drama, it's a bold statement on accountability, and the showdown is only getting started.